Hello and welcome to another episode of Issuer Update. I'm Dimitri Giller, and joining me today is Koby Kushner, CEO of Athena Gold Corporation, ticker symbol ATHA. Welcome, Koby. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having me today, Dimitri.
Great. Thanks for joining us. And I wanted to add before we start, Athena Gold is celebrating 3-year anniversaries on October 18th. So congratulations on that as well. So let's get started. Can you briefly introduce yourself, the company, and some of the current projects you're exploring or properties you're exploring?
Sure. So I'm Koby Kushner. I'm the incoming CEO of Athena Gold Corp, ATHA on the CSE, and we are a precious metals company focused on exploration in Nevada as well as Ontario. And about myself, I'm a mining engineer by trade, and then I'm also a former sell side research analyst.
Let's start off with the company itself. What sets your organization apart from others in the mining industry?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of companies to pick from. A lot of companies that are doing what we're doing, right? Um, I think for one, we've got exposure to multiple jurisdictions. We've got assets in the Red Lake District, the prolific Red Lake District in Ontario, as well as in Nevada within the Walker Lake Trend. So we've got graphical diversification built into the company, as well as the team. We all come from the industry. As I said before, I'm a mining engineer, and we've got a dedicated technical team as well. And we all met while working at Barrick Gold Corp. So everyone here we know the industry well.
And Athena has made an acquisition recently, acquisition announcement with Libra Lithium Corporation. Can you dive into that a little bit and tell us how that transaction came about and what the outcome is?
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of why I'm here. So Libra Lithium is a private company that I run, that I co-founded, and it's one of the largest landholders of mineral rights in Ontario. Naturally, when you're sifting through for lithium projects, you come across prospects that aren't necessarily only prospective for lithium. So what we did is we acquired a couple gold projects, one of them being in the Red Lake District, and that was kind of Libra's flagship gold project. And we vended that into Athena Gold, and concurrent with that, my team is coming in to Athena.
And taking us back and looking ahead, are you currently pursuing any other properties in the region?
We always have our eyes on acquisition targets, but it's obviously got to be for the right price, and it has to be the right opportunity above anything. But I really like what we have in our current portfolio. Excelsior Springs in Nevada, we already have world class drill intercepts. There's already a target that we need to chase and follow up on. In Red Lake, we've got a very compelling grassroots opportunity in a very underexplored part of the Red Lake Gold Camp. So we do have our hands full, but that being said, we're always looking at what else is out there.
Great. So, out of the projects that you have on deck, which one gets you the most excited?
But that's a hard question. I'll say that we've got 4 projects in our portfolio. We've got 2 in Nevada, 2 in Ontario. Um, I'll narrow that down to 2. So I'll talk about Excelsior Springs first. This is a brownfield site with 3 historic mines on it, and this is in the prolific Walker Lane trend of Nevada, 50 million ounce gold endowment just in this trend alone. Um, Back in the late 1800s, Nevada was the Wild West. That's what drew a lot of cowboys to the area, and they were mining these very, very narrow vein gold and silver mines, and we have that on our project. But what excites us about this project, or what excites me particularly as a mining engineer, with a modern lens, this looks like an open pitable target. We're talking about mineralization within 100 meters of surface. We've got open pitable type of drill intercepts, such as 4 grams over 52 meters, which is a world class drill intercept, and we think that there's a large deposit just waiting to be drilled off there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Red Lake, what we love about it is that this is a very mature mining camp that's produced over 30 million ounces from some of the highest grade gold mines in the world. Just to give you some color there, it's where Gold Corp got their start. And back in their peak, they were mining at an average grade of 77 grams a ton, which is just incredibly high grade. And they were doing it with scale too. They were mining over 500,000 ounces a year. There's lots of activity going on, but what excites us about about Red Lake is that we've got about 10 kilometers of this very special contact between two rocks. So you've got the Balmer rocks and you've got the Confederation rocks. And within 300 meters of where those rock groups meet along the famous Balmer Confederation contact, that's where 94% of the ounces ever mined in Red Lake occur. And we have this very unexplored 10-kilometer trend of that contact. And it's underexplored because historically it was mapped as all Confederation rocks. So it's a brand new interpretation to a very mature camp. So we like it for its lack of exploration maturity. But a big picture, it has all the right ingredients to host a high grade Red Lake style gold deposit. So that gets me really excited as well.
Fantastic. And a little bit of a general question here, but how does your company foster innovation, and how do you stay competitive and ahead of your competition in this market?
Yes, so it helps by having a dedicated technical team who's able to work with other technical personnel and piece together a consistent story. So to take a step back, what often happens is if you don't have that dedicated technical team, you're relying on outside consultants and you're relying on exploration contractors who don't necessarily collaborate together, and in a way, too many chefs in the kitchen. I think it's really important to have that dedicated team that can put together this big picture. So at Excelsior, there wasn't a data room before our guys came in and took a look, and we were able to piece together what no one else was able to see, which is this is a large scale open pitable target. We have to just look at it through that lens now. If you put together all the data and take a big picture approach. And then in terms of what we're actually doing is we're leveraging all the latest innovations in exploration. So things that we've been looking at is hyperspectral satellite imagery, which is helping us define where we can find the most prospective rocks on our project area. But we're also doing that in tandem with classical boots on the ground. So I think doing both, applying classical methods of boots on the ground mapping, sampling, as well as modern technologies, geophysics, and the hyperspectral imagery. Doing that in tandem is how we foster innovation.
Fantastic, great. It sounds like you have a lot of the old school and the new school methodologies put together. Great. Let's take another step back and zoom out a bit and talk about the long-term goals. What are your long-term goals, and what plans do you have to achieve them? And maybe talk about some of the targets that you're trying to hit in terms of the resources on those properties.
Yeah, long-term goals is we want to define multi-million ounce gold deposits, and we want to do that in both Nevada as well as Ontario. That's our longer-term goals. And in order to do that, we have to start with the goal and work backwards from there. And when you go all the way back to basics, it starts off with taking just a very scientific approach to exploration, which means boots on the ground. Work up your drill targets to the best of your ability. Do all your homework first. Really define these things. Don't rush to do. Don't rush to hit the drill. You want to make sure that you have your targets well defined before you spend all that money on drilling. And you want to hope that you want to increase your odds, maximize your odds of hitting it out of the park on your initial drill program. So the first thing that we're going to do is, it varies by project, but let's just talk about Excelsior. So Excelsior, we have those world-class intercepts already, but now that it's been discovered, the discovery's already been made. It's a matter of stepping out and seeing how big this thing could be. This is a discovery hole that only came out about a year and a half ago and hasn't been properly followed up on. And one thing that we need to do is figure out the structure. So, okay, we know that there's gold endowment there. How do we know where to step out? We need to figure out the structure. So how do we do that? We have to bring in oriented core. For the first time ever, we hope to bring in a core drilling rig. Previously, everything was RC, and it's hard to make out the structure with an RC hole because you're essentially pulling out gravel out of the ground and you're connecting grade. But we want to be able to connect structure and figure out what's actually controlling mineralization. From there, after we bring in oriented core, we think we'll know where we step out, where we're supposed to step out in order to find something large.
So the private placement raised $1 million. The first tranche is also closed. Where are you looking to allocate those funds?
Sure. Initially, we're going to be allocating those funds over to Nevada. We did just complete our recon program at our Laird Lake project in the Red Lake Gold District. So these funds are mostly going to Nevada. Um, Actually, today is when the crew is mobbing down to do some property-wide structural mapping. Again, all in the name of understanding the structure. From there, we hope to do a trenching program, which is where they'll dig, call it 1 to 2 meters deep, and we're going to be looking at where we know that there's gold mineralization already from previous drilling. And that will allow us to look at, what does mineralization actually look like in 3 dimensions. And then from there, we'll know where to place our drills. Look, I've looked at a lot of projects in my career. I've sifted through many projects in Nevada. I've sifted through many projects in Ontario, and I can honestly say that these are my two favorite projects. That's why I chose to take the reins here. We think that there's multi-million ounce potential at both, and I think that we already have some of the best drill intercepts in Nevada for a company of our market cap. So we're pretty stoked to get out there and prove that we're right.
Great. And is there a specific target for the gold price that you're looking for to make this project go forward, or are you okay at these levels?
I like that you asked me that question. So gold is ripping, as you know, it's near its all-time highs. That being said, we do not rely on record gold prices in order to make our decisions. We'd like to have a margin of safety.
Mhm.
So to give you some color there, in the Walker Lane trend of Nevada, if you're looking at a near surface oxide open pitable target, which is what we're targeting,
Mhm.
typical cutoff grades over the last 10 years. So they have been somewhere around 0.15 to 0.2. So we use that 0.2 economic threshold, but obviously we're chasing something that we want it to have substantially higher grade than that. But my point in what I'm saying there is that in this area, you don't necessarily need incredibly high gold prices for something to work. You only need a cutoff grade of 0.2, and obviously gold price and cost to get that gold out is what factors into that economic cutoff grade. So it's not like we're suddenly dropping that cutoff grade to 0.1 now that gold is ripping. We want to have that margin of safety. So we want something that works in even a down market. We don't want to target something that only works in an up market. Is how I would answer your question.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thank you for the update and thank you for your time. Again, today joining me was Koby Kushner from Athena Gold Corporation, ticker symbol ATHA.
Thank you.
Take care.